Well, I'm delighted to be involved in Business Startup because this is really what I see as the future of business. I don't see the future of business in the UK as a bunch of multinationals and so forth. I see it as a lot of fast-growing SMEs, small businesses that are really going global, but it's the mainstream. It's the small businesses that have a chance to become global leaders. So for me, this is a source of ideas. It's exciting, and it's really the future of business. I think it's important for startups to come to a show like Business Startup because there's a certain sharing of information that you can't exactly quantify what you've got or whatever, but it's pieces of information, it's some networking, it reinforces ideas that you might have had, you see the trends in the industry, all of that. It's difficult to quantify, but it's very important in terms of building up an overall picture of where the market's going and so forth. And frankly, there's a social aspect to it, to just realizing if you are running your own business, there's a lot of kind of lonely time to that. And it's good to see that there's other people out there that are also climbing the mountain on their own and so forth. So there's a kind of camaraderie, I think, that implicitly you kind of soak up at a show like this. What can people expect from my seminar? Well, I'm talking today about building an entrepreneur country. And entrepreneur country, of course, is my investment firm's community at entrepreneurcountry.net. But more importantly, it's my ideas on what we are becoming in the United Kingdom. We're becoming an entrepreneur country. And so I have a framework, a kind of core philosophy of what is happening and what we need to make happen even sooner, faster, and better. Because as far as I'm concerned, the entrepreneur is the engine of society, not just the engine of the economy, but the engine of society. And so it's really peeling away the onion and saying, how do we make society work most effectively for more of the people all the time? And so it's really kind of my philosophy with a kind of vision of how that plays out in society. And hopefully I think people will learn something, it'll challenge their thinking and give them a kind of framework for looking at the next couple of years. Well, when I came to the United Kingdom in July '98, it was right at the time that the internet was exploding. You had impressive organizations already out there like David Rowe's EasyNet, which went on to be acquired by BSkyB. But really, the height of the .com experience was in '98, '99. And so, the internet really did change everything. It became a very important and efficient channel to your customer. And what we've seen since '98 over the past 12 years is a deep bench of talent has grown. People who have tried and learned and had small failures and small victories in terms of building online businesses. And so, the internet has opened up the opportunity for entrepreneurship because we can work wherever we might work, wherever our home is, our home office, and we can appear to be a bigger business than just working out of our spare bedroom, running our e-commerce site or our blog site or whatever. Nobody needs to know the lean operating model behind these businesses. And so I think that the internet and the rise in entrepreneurship is really due to a whole new way of work and how technology is enabling the future. And that really has happened over the past 12 years. Well, I really believe that nobody under the age of 30 considers that they work for anyone anymore. And I think that focus on the individual and the young 25-year-old guy or girl who thinks of themselves as their own P&L, their own brand, they're just biding time until they find the right opportunity, absolutely has been inspired but also educated in a way to think of themselves as their own individual capitalist in a way that certainly has been one part infused with shows like The Apprentice and Dragon's Den and so forth. And I think to a certain extent that's okay. There's a lot more to it, as we all know, than just coming up a set of stairs and pitching to a group of people to give you money. And I think that's the opportunity maybe for business programming in the next 10 years as to where can we go to really help people understand what it means to build a business, because it's not glamorous. It's really not at all glamorous. It's so much hard work, and you have to be, frankly, obsessed and addicted to creating your business, because most people will simply give up when it's difficult. And the line between success and failure is some people persist irrationally, where most people would give up. And I'm not sure that we get that message across Well, I really believe in the power of the media. I've worked with the media for 20 years, and so I'm not afraid of it, and I see the benefit of being able to communicate ideas. And so for me, the opportunity was to get my view of the world out in terms, and hopefully you can tell from the way that I interact with the entrepreneurs, the way that I feel investors should operate with entrepreneurs. It's really the spotlight should be on the entrepreneur. It's not about the dragons, it's about the entrepreneurs. And so I try to communicate some of that. And obviously running my own business, Ariadne Capital, an entrepreneur country, I want to get the messages associated. So it was an opportunity to communicate the things that are important to me. But also, too, I felt that the Dragon's Den franchise needed some oomph. It needed a kind of refresh. And it's more than just television. It should be about the interaction. And so I'm encouraging the BBC to really think about how to refresh the franchise and to get some interactivity. Why not have people who are watching the show, whether online or on television, build their own portfolio, be your own dragon, and build out a portfolio of the companies that you see that you would have invested in, and then follow the progress of those companies over time.